Hello, it's Maya here, and I have created a Pacemakers challenge board for my artistic representation of my personal mission. I am incorporating my personal mission as my class mission because it's not just about my mission as a teacher, but our class's mission. So, our class mission states, "Together we will encourage, motivate, and support one another in all that we do. As pacemakers, let's cultivate a classroom full of love for learning and each other. Each of you is a game changer, and together we can foster an environment where growth and kindness is always possible." P stands for positive mindset, A stands for active participant, C stands for collaborate and communicate, and E is enthusiastic encourager. And then students can earn table points. So by earning table points, you can do that by projecting our mission. My personal mission as a teacher is to foster a safe learning environment in which all students embrace a positive mindset, to work collaboratively as active participants in the learning process. Together, we will have a common goal of uplifting one another as we ultimately become lifelong learners. I aim to make my mission not just mine, but the mission of my entire class. With the Pacemakers Challenge board, I will be able to motivate my students to participate as game changers in the learning process. I will reward points daily for the efforts of my students, and the winning table will get a reward at the end of each week. This will not only encourage teamwork, but this will give students a sense of belonging and a bigger purpose in my classroom. After reading various articles this semester and interviewing as a practicing teacher, I came to realize that students need to be active participants in the learning process as they work to choose how they learn best. This course has enabled me to learn how I can fulfill my mission by utilizing emerging educational technology to provide students choices. Students learn best when it is student-centered rather than teacher-centered. Student-led learning allows for higher engagement in the learning process and more opportunity to take on the responsibility of achieving personal learning goals. To provide students with a student-centered learning experience, I will work with all of my students to discover how they learn best. I will employ various strategies such as collaborative work, virtual lessons, in-person lessons, and project options. Just as you provided us with a choice as to which product to create to demonstrate our learning for this project, I too will provide my students with choices that will guide their learning and fulfill our class's mission. I feel that managing all the diverse needs of a large group of students could be difficult, and it probably will be. For example, a student may have a stressful situation happening in his or her personal life that I may not be aware of, and the situation may affect that child's ability to perform in the classroom. I would work on developing relationships with my students to combat these difficulties. And by prioritizing relationships with my students, I will be able to make connections that allow them to feel safe and cared for in the classroom, then motivating them to foster our mission as pacemakers. Another obstacle is that not all students have a positive mindset about school and learning, and some students may also struggle to learn and retain information. I will need to work on building a positive classroom environment from the start in which students feel valued. And that way they can realize they can achieve their goals, work hard, and then I can create individualized lessons that'll meet all of my students' diverse learning needs. Forming positive relationships with all of my students will be key to overcoming these challenges. I aim to provide a safe and trusting space for them to come, grow, learn, and love one another. In this class, I learned that I can be a positive influence in everything that I do as a teacher and in my own life. I can use my role as a teacher to bring magic and inspiration into my students' lives. During my interview, Miss Bryan expressed that she has bumped into former students who have gone on to learn guitar like her or become teachers due to their influence during their years spent in her classroom. She said that it's not always the curriculum that students remember, but truly those moments spent experiencing those magical times filled with love, passion, trust, and respect for one another, and that is what I truly want to foster through this mission. As for what I want to remember as a future educator teaching in a diverse society is to understand that every student's experience is different than my own, and that I will never fully understand what it is like to be in their shoes. However, I can still attempt to look at these situations from the child's perspective to shed some light on what a child may be experiencing. Moreover, I will always treat my students with respect, dignity, and understanding and model the pace expectations that I would hold them to. I will always work to make sure every student feels cared and loved for by working to help each of them in their personalized ways. In conclusion, as a future educator, I will remind myself that I might not approach a lesson thinking that it will unfold in a certain way because that perception will not always become a reality. There are often hiccups along the way that will affect a lesson possibly in a positive or negative way. For example, there might be a fire drill, upset student, a behavior issue that delays a lesson. Or maybe the technology is not cooperating or the timing is off. Whatever the issue is, I will remind myself that not every lesson is going to be perfect. However, what is key is that I will reflect on the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I will always be able to adjust as needed going forward with the next lesson. I too will be learning along with my students, which will be key to developing lifelong learners in my students as I emphasize that there is room for us to all keep learning. I will push myself to continue obtaining new knowledge, new perspectives, and new ideas on how to adapt and learn each day. I will see my classroom mission to fruition each year as I encourage students to never stop loving, learning, and growing. Pacemakers is just my first idea for my classroom mission, and I'm excited to see how this challenge board will evolve, inspire, and help students grow over the years. Thank you for everything this semester. I have truly enjoyed all of your assignments that you have given us, and I'm excited to implement all of your ideas from the articles and videos that we were able to learn from you and just see how passionate you are about everything. So thank you for that. Happy holidays. Thank you.